Welcome everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is EpiTimmy. I'm a Christian and a pastor and a Vtuber, and I'm just here to react to the newest game trailer or game overview of Resident Evil 9, or in other words, Resident Evil Requiem. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil franchise, and I like to play all the Resident Evil games as much as I can. And so they just uploaded this during today's Capcom event, and they told us a lot more information about what this game would entail. So I'm just gonna react to this, and I might give my own thoughts and reactions to it and see where that goes. So we'll buckle up and let's get right into it. Well, of course they had to scare you at that beginning. Let's see what concept. What's the concept here today?
開発のコンセプトは病みつきになる恐怖というのを掲げてます。恐怖を乗り越える、気持ちよさ、そこのカタルシスってやっぱこう脳汁が出るんですよね。それ自体がこれもっとやりたい、遊びたいっていう中毒性を生む。そこに徹底的にフォーカスしてみたら怖いけどゲームとしても楽しい、そういうのが作れるんじゃないかなっていうのがレクイエムの出発点でした。
Okay, starting point. Oh, someone's chasing.
バイオハザードレクイエムは、シングルプレイかつ、オフラインのゲームとなっています。
Yes, single player.
バイオハザードで一番重要なのは恐怖体験だと思うんですけれども、今作においてはその恐怖体験っていうところに、しっかりとフィーチャーした内容に仕上がっているんじゃないかなと思ってます。
Yeah, and that was cool. I mean, concept-wise, I support it because that's what Resident Evil was all about. The beginning, back in Resident Evil 1, it was a horror game with zombies. Although my question would be, will they bring back the concept of zombies into this game? Or is it just that big giant monster that's going to be chasing Grace around, right? So I feel like I don't know if they're gonna bring back zombies anyways, because the previous Resident Evil 8 village, there were no zombies. There were a bunch of lichens, werewolves, and all that jazz, right? So I really wish that they would bring back zombies, but I feel like with this upcoming concept, like they talk about addictive fear, like you gotta overcome your fear, those kind of things. And yeah, I mean there's a sense of achieving a goal of overcoming your fear and getting over your fear and running away. So this seems more of a survival horror, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be weapons, but I'm sure there's gonna be weapons. So, but now we're gonna look at characters. Let's take a look at characters.
今回の主人公は FBI 捜査官グレイス・アッシュクロフト。内向的で怖がり。バイオハザードとしては。
Wait, she's introverted and she's scared? I mean, I guess the release trailer did kind of show her a little bit shy, a little bit introverted, I guess. She did look like she was a nerdy type of person, very into her computer. So, and of course, she is a new character, so it's nice that there's something good about bringing new characters. I mean, they brought Ethan Winters, which we never got to see what he looked like. But you know, Ethan Winter back in Resident Evil 7 and even Resident Evil 8, they not much is seen by him, or we don't see his face, and so but now he's dead. And so they had to of course they had to bring in new character. So with new characters, that means there's something fresh about this. And plus, since this game took place 30 years right after the Raccoon City explosion in Resident Evil 3, surely a lot of the characters like Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, and Claire Redfield, you can imagine 30 years later, they are old, right? They're going to be old. They're going to be like maybe in their 50s or even 60s. Right? I don't know their age during those times when they were in Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. But you can imagine that it's important to bring in a new character. Someone who's young, like Grace. So I think that's a smart idea.
割と新しいタイプのキャラクターを作ろうとしています。プレイヤーと同じ目線で一緒になって怖がれる、こういうキャラクターを狙っています。物語の中でもちろん彼女も恐怖を克服し成長していくんですけども、 FBI 捜査官なので銃の扱いに慣れてますし、冷静な推理力とかも発揮しつつ活躍するキャラクターになります。レオンを主人公にしようっていうのは実はずっとあったんですけども、どうしてもレオンを使ったバッチバチのホラーっていうのが割と難しくて、落ちてきたバケツにびっくりするとか、そういうレオンってそんなみんな見たくないやろっていうところで、じゃあホラーと食い合わせ悪いよなっていうのがやっぱりありましたけど。
Alright, okay. First and foremost, I'm very grateful that they clarified on Leon, okay? He's not going to be the main protagonist. I'm not sure how many of you have like been looking at Twitter or Facebook, all these fandoms. People have been spreading rumors and I don't know, rumors of that Leon is going to be the main character of this game. I mean, and then right after the release of the trailer came out, people were like not convinced. No, they're gonna bring Leon in. He's gonna come on in and just and rescue Grace and just let her stay away from all these bad things, right? She's just a side character. No. Now that Capcom has clarified that Leon is actually not gonna be the main character. He's not gonna be the protagonist. Instead, Grace is going to be the protagonist now. She's going to lead the way now. She's going to be one who's going to get all scared because, obviously, Leon is a tough guy, right? You can imagine he's dealt with so many crap and bad stuff in his life, going from Resident Evil 2, stepping right into the first job, and then he had to deal with all these zombies apocalypse, and then he got into like Resident Evil 4, and then he deals with saving Ashley, saving the president's daughter. I mean, you can imagine he's not scared. And please don't remind me of Resident Evil 6, okay? That game is garbage. But you can imagine that Leon is not the type of guy who's gonna get scared, so it makes sense that they don't bring Leon in. Now, here's what they did not say. They did not say that they're not putting Leon in. They did not say that Leon is not going to be in the game. That's not what they said, right? So there is still a chance that Leon could just pop up in the game. We don't know. So that's all I have to say about that. All right, evolution. What does that mean?
ファーストトレーラーご覧になって分かるように、グレース自身がすごいいろんな目に遭うんですね。 PV で断片的には入ってるんですけれども、逆さずり一つとっても顔の赤らみ、高揚感であったりとか、うっ血してる表現、あとは髪の毛もかなり力を入れてまして、自分たちでスタッフと一緒にプロの方を呼んで実際にウィッグを使ってそこからシミュレーションして CG に落とし込んだりとかもしています。
Oh, okay, so essentially what they're saying is that in terms of the evolution, is the whole RE engine, right? So, and how they're going to make this very, very realistic. So, and I can tell just from the gameplay, it seems like graphics seems to be very, very good. The problem is, guys, I don't have a strong enough computer, so please subscribe to this channel, like this video if you enjoying it. And please support me so I can buy a better computer so I can play Resident Evil 9 at the maximum capacity, okay?
Requiem はですね、一人称視点と三人称視点2つの視点で自由に切り替えながら遊ぶことができます。主観視点だとその恐怖を間近に感じることができて、緊張感のある臨場感のあるゲームプレイっていうのが可能になります。三人称視点だとキャラクターの肩越しでの視点というところでアクション、そういったところがよく見えるゲームプレイになると思いますので、アクションが好きだなって思う方には三人称視点の方がおすすめです。
Really amazing. All right, so I like this concept, right? Because the reason why they put first person, third person, okay, let's just face it. There's replayability, right? I would not imagine myself playing this game, like switching from first person and third person midway in the game. For me, if I want to play this game, I'll play through first person first, And then if I want to play a second time, I play a third person. So just to have a different feeling, different reaction. Now, having said that, you have to choose which one you want to experience first, right? And so, because this is a horror game, I think you should play this game on the first person, so that you can get the real experience of what this game is designed to do, which is to scare you, okay? Whereas if you somehow, start with third person, I mean, it's gonna be, maybe there is still some horror element into it, but it's not as scary compared to POV, right? First POV. So I like that. I like that they give you different options. And the reason why when Capcom decided to do first person with Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 in comparison to the other ones like Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, where it's all third person, the reason why Resident Evil 7 and 8 were in first person is because, well, guess what? We can't see Ethan's face, so we don't know what he looks like. We will never find out what he looks like, okay? And so that's why there was no third person during those times. But now we know who Grace is, so now we can see her, we can see what she looks like, and now, well, you can use both if you want. Okay, Raccoon City. Okay, this is a very interesting one.
滅菌作戦以降30年近く経つんですけども、ゲームの舞台として登場します。
その当時アンブレラ事件っていうのでシリーズがヒットして、それ以降もさまざまなキャラクターたちが、いろんなラクーンシティで起きた事件をきっかけに立ち向かっていくようになったり、人間成長したり、そこに今回この表現のメスを入れるっていうのが作り手としてはやっぱりかなり緊張感を持って臨ませてもらったっていうのが大きかったですね。
ラクーン事件に関わった。
I mean, I guess like if you're trying to, I think because they're coming back to Raccoon City, there's a sense that like when you're coming back to Raccoon City, there's a lot of nostalgia, right? And so how do you create a story that is fresh and unique, and yet there's a bit of a nostalgia to the Resident Evil 2 and 3 moments, where at the same time you're trying to create a new story out of Raccoon City. How does that work? Right? How will they do that? So we'll see how that goes.
もしくはラクーン事件に巻き込まれて大きく人生を変わってしまったり、命を落としてしまったりと、そういった登場人物がたくさん出ます。レクイエムは彼らに向けての言葉通り鎮魂であり、もっと言うとバイオハザードシリーズ、ラクーン事件、アンブレラをきっかけに生まれたシリーズのある種一つの区切りという意味で、レクイエムというタイトルをつけています。
Requiem. Yeah, so again, as the developer says, people in whoever those guys are, like this game took place 30 years later, and it's kind of interesting that it seems like even after 30 years, they didn't clear out what's going on, the rubbles of Raccoon City. I mean, you'll imagine that the government would go back and just try to clear out some stuff. So I wonder if there will be any sort of stories or other concepts where the governments who that nuked the city, they decided, okay, let's go back to Raccoon City a couple of years later and see what happens. Because I don't imagine that they just completely ignore Raccoon City altogether. I mean, it's just like in other, in previous real life history, right? I mean, there have been nuclear bombs that have been nuked, different countries that have been nuked. I mean, it's not like each place that got nuked, it's like they completely get ignored altogether. And so here, I can't imagine that they just completely ignored Raccoon City and never came back, and all these rubbles, all these messes are still there. So I wonder if the trailer is just a little bit deceiving, because again, we don't know where Grace is when she got, when she's dealing with that monster, right? When she's just walking down along those hallways, we don't know where she is. We don't even know if that is going to be the beginning of the game. That could be in the beginning of the game, or that could be in the middle of the game, or that could be somewhere else. So we don't even know if she will be in Raccoon City, but it's most likely it will take place in Raccoon City. I think Grace will walk around it, but remember in the release trailer that it was mentioned that Grace's mother was murdered in the hotel, right? We don't even know where that hotel is, and certainly that hotel doesn't seem to be in Raccoon City because, again, that was bombed like 30 years ago, and her mom died 8 years ago before this incident. So where will this hotel be? Where will this hotel be where that Grace has to go back? And so I wonder how they're going to fit in everything into Raccoon City, because it doesn't seem like the whole entire gameplay and the whole entire scenes of where Grace is doesn't seem to be in Raccoon City. So there's some things that are not adding up for me, but we'll find out when the game comes in.
バイオハザードレクイエムは2026年2月27日に発売予定です。2026年3月にバイオハザードシリーズ30周年
You know, ironically, 30th anniversary is like 30 years right after Raccoon City was bombed.
を迎えます。30周年記念タイトルの名に恥じぬようなゲームとして本作リリースしたいなというふうに思っております。
Alright. Guys, I am definitely buying this game, and I'm planning to buy it on Steam, and so I need the money. But, you know, I have the money anyway, so I'm planning to pre-order it. So, last thoughts before I wrap up this video. So, again, with this scene right here, we don't know where this place is. I actually initially thought it's the police station, because some of the designs seem to be like a police station, but I think it's more like some hospital or something. But I also want to bring up Raccoon City for one reason. Is because, like, when you look at Raccoon City, where's that thing? I just want to say that regarding Raccoon City, we know that the city got nuked, and after the city got nuked, one of the things I thought about is when you play Resident Evil 2 and 3, one of the questions I had was, did that also affect the sewers? Right, the sewer areas where Leon and Claire was, and also where Jill was in Resident Evil 3. The reason I asked that is because there are a lot of things that happen in the sewers, and it makes me wonder if the nuke actually also affected and if that also bombed the sewers, like deep down in the sewers, right? Because if not, then maybe there's some clues there. So maybe you guys should replay Resident Evil 2 and 3 just to make sure that you scout out all the little lores and hidden stuff, secret stuff, Easter eggs, whatnot. So go ahead and play back. And plus, remember in Resident Evil 2, right, when Leon or Claire when Leon, particularly Leon in Resident Evil 2 Remake, when he went down into the sewer, he saw the big giant alligator, right? Or crocodile, whatever that thing was. I cannot imagine that that's the only one. So I wonder if there will be more of those things. So, in Resident Evil 9, Requiem. But all that is to say is that I'm actually looking forward to this game. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. And if you've enjoyed my commentary, my thoughts, please leave a like and subscribe and comment below. What do you think about this game? Do you agree or do you disagree about my assessment, my reaction? Let me know in the comments below. And until then, God bless you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Divide up my video better so that it's easier for my editor. Beautiful. Beautiful singing. Bravo. We need to give you an applause. Ah.